Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up, it's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steven Larson. Taped live in front of a studio audience at twitch.tv/Steven Larson, and available in audio form wherever you can find your favorite podcasts. If you're watching us on YouTube, smash that like button right now. Let's try to get this one up to 603 likes, Larson.
Sounds good.
All right.
603.
We're also available on the Patreon at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Today, in bonus episode, we power ranked. We had 10 of them. You had 5, I had 5. Gimmicks that are worse than the clown gimmicks that Vince McMahon was trying to give to the Revival. And I thought it was a pretty fun episode. You can find that not only as a YouTube channel member. We're also sending these links out. If you watch us live on the Twitch, we send these links out at twitch.tv/Steven Larson.
Correct.
And then, of course, on the Patreon. Also on the Patreon, you get a shout out if you sign up. And I was going to give some shout outs here. Free Chan gets the fancy, he or she gets the fancy Going In Raw Friendo Club shirt. Ooh. With the blue and the rusty orange.
That looks sharp.
Looks sharp. Michael Nichols, Andrew Chin, Ellis Watson, David Fishkind, Johan van Wolfhausen, Patrick Kennedy, Jonathan Williams, Pablo Machado, John Foxworthy, Tress30, Josh Montano, Chris Carlin, and Undistupid Robber. Thank you very much for your support. We definitely appreciate it here at Going In Raw. Another WWE Raw in the books, Larson.
In the books.
What did you think of tonight's episode?
It was all right. There was some good. I like what they're doing with Drew. I like this promos. They seemingly are off the cuff, from the heart. There's no, I don't know. It feels like he's just going out there and talking. He doesn't feel like he's reading lines. I like that. All the Money in the Bank qualifiers were solid. Ricochet and Cedric, fantastic together. The Bob Lashley stuff, like, we know he's strong. What's the point? And then the Viking Raiders thing was painfully hard to watch.
Wow. Okay. All right. We'll talk about that. I'm going to try to give that one the benefit of the doubt a little bit. What you said about Drew is spot on. I think he's the perfect guy to welcome us welcome him into our living room, because that's how Raw has been starting. He comes off as a very humble, gracious host of Raw, who goes around Claymore kicking people. You want to Claymore your wine, apparently. What's going on there?
No, there was something on the bottom of the cups. When I put it down, it felt like, it was unsteady. But it was the smallest little thing.
Oh.
It was like a Princess and the Pea situation.
Maybe it's just very dense.
No, it's the bottom of the glass.
You have a chunk of neutron star there.
Yeah, it must have been what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But it was large enough I could feel it when I put the glass on there, but it was hard to see. Like I said, it's a Princess and the Pea situation. You familiar with that story?
No, I have no desire to hear pea stories with princesses, dude. Okay,
no,
I'm not into that
not
kind
urine,
of stuff.
Not PEA.
Not into pea play. Hey, can we talk about Drew's new championship render really quick?
Yeah, why does he look hungover? And about 10 years older than he probably actually is.
He look, in the spirit of 420, he looks
puffy.
He looks like I imagine my face looked after my laughing fit when we had edibles at that Raw house show.
Yeah.
And I was doing our restaurant bill, and I started laughing really hard at my tip math, and I was crying laughing so hard. What is with this thing? I'm going to bring up a picture for the people who are watching on YouTube, if I can find this thing. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't know if that's going to work. What kind of... Oh, here we go. Yeah, it should work. Yeah, he looks, I mean, he actually does look high, so maybe it is apropos.
He looks like this.
Hold on a second. I took a picture of it. Look.
Like he's got his under eyes are puffy.
Yeah.
His upper eyelids look tired and droopy.
I hope people are watching this on YouTube because it's hilarious. Oh my goodness gracious, Drew. Yeah, I kind of get the feeling, and I think I actually do believe this is a shoot. I'm pretty sure they took that picture like after he had been ugly crying after he won the title. I think he was so overwhelmed with emotion after how far he had come. He was probably ugly crying, and they're like, "Okay, time for your photo shoot." He's like, "Okay."
I'll do you one step further. It's probably ugly crying, and they're like, "Oh, you have another match you got to do right now against Big Show." So he got beat up by Lesnar, ugly crying, beat up by Big Show backstage. So it's probably been a long day.
Big Show probably said something very emotional to him also.
I know. It's like, you deserve this, something like this. Match against, but he said like the chant, "You deserve this."
Exactly.
Match against Big Show, something super emotional in chat form. And yeah, it was probably just a lot of things weighing on the shoulders of one Drew Galloway.
Yeah. Or it was like the next day and he was high as shit. And they're like, "Drew, it's time to take your picture." Oh.
It's like, I went to celebrate with Matt Riddle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with you, though. I think Drew is great. And I liked all the stuff. At first I was like, man, they're really burying this new faction. But by the end, he was claymoring everybody, and it just made me happy. So I kind of didn't care anymore.
I know, me too.
All those claymores were really cool.
Yeah.
So it was like, whatever. And then he did his own Tranquilo. He looks like he's having a really good time.
And that's the thing. He looks like he's having a blast.
Yeah.
If he's personable, he's genuine, he's got boatloads of charisma, and he looks like he's out there having fun. That all translates.
I do think that tonight just felt like a kind of episode of Raw that, like, it really just sort of needed a crowd to, like, really get it going. I mean, yeah, there was some good stuff. Some of the matches, like you said, the qualifiers were pretty good. There was some good stuff going on. I mean, dude, the people that are working, like Zelina Vega, she's an absolute champ. Like, she's doing so much, and she's adding so much to it. But she
was fantastic on commentary.
Oh, I know. She was great.
Was so good.
She was great. I thought the main event was even better than Andrade. I mean, it seemed like it went longer, and I feel
it was like 8 minutes.
I feel like Angel Garza put up more of a fight than Andrade did.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is kind of weird. But no, I thought there were some good matches. I just feel like this was the kind of thing where they did some stuff outside of the Performance Center, and even like you can consider like the gym of the Performance Center a little bit like outside that realm, that arena, I guess. Which I really liked, and I hope they keep on doing that. When we get to the War Raiders thing, we'll talk about that because I actually didn't mind it too much. But kick this off. What did Drew say in that opening promo?
Well, a lot of good stuff. He responds to Seth, what he did last week. He said, "I'm not surprised that I was jumped by Seth." Says the title paints a huge bullseye on one's back because the champ is considered the best. Says someone once told him that it's lonely at the top, and he says, that whoever said that was a damn fool. It's in fact crowded as hell at the top because everybody's coming after you, which brings him to Seth. And he says, well, does Seth deserve an opportunity? Of course, last week I said I would give title shots to anybody who I felt was deserving. Lifts off a bunch of Seth's accolades, one of the most decorated members of the roster currently. And Drew says, if I want to be considered a great champion, I have to go out there and I have to beat the best night in and night out. So he said in 3 weeks' time, Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins for the WWE title at Money in the Bank. And then he turns to the camera and says, hey, says it into the camera. Here, get close to me. I'm going to talk to you, Seth. Says, hey, buddy, I'm not going to hurl a bunch of insults at you. And he's about to make his next point. He's interrupted by Zelina, Angel Garza, Austin Theory, B-Man, Real Superstar Patrick Sparks.
Shaved now, yeah.
Yeah. And then Drew calls Zelina the number one thorn in his ass.
Yeah, I like the little improv interplay between them. You can tell that it just feels natural. At first, like it's the kind of thing that has the potential to be a bit on the awkward side, given there's nobody there. But they have been developing this sort of back and forth chemistry a couple of weeks now. It's starting to click a bit better.
It is. It came off as natural. Zelina says, Drew, I'm sick of your rah-rah speeches. You're too focused on what's happening 3 weeks from now and not focused on what's happening tonight. Angel Garza, you're looking past him. And as she says that, Andrade comes from behind Drew, chop blocks him, sets him at the corner for double knees. Drew springs out of there, hits Claymore. And then Zelina's like to Garza in Theory, go in there and attack him. And they both said, no.
No, I'm not going to do that.
No way.
Sorry.
They declined. Drew instead claymores Andrade again, this time out of the ring, and then Drew strikes the Tranquilo pose. They're doing a good job of making Drew dominant, which he should be as champion.
Yeah.
Because how many times has someone won the title in their first feud, it feels like a mid-card feud.
Yeah, I know, totally.
I mean,
yeah.
Drew is effectively single-handedly dispatching of 3 guys.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like he's burying anybody, though, you know? Because Andrade's match against Tozawa, he had to fight from underneath because he ate 2 claymores earlier in the night. He was selling that on the way out to the ring. He still won.
So I half agree with you because, look, this guy ate a ton of F5s and dispatched a Brock Lesnar in minutes. So we're talking about a Brock. So theoretically, we're talking about a Brock level situation here with Drew McIntyre, right?
Yes.
And he looks like it. He's huge.
Yeah.
So if you look at Brock Lesnar, what's the last big notable thing he did? He took on 15 men in the Rumble, and he dispatched of them all fairly easily until he got to Drew. And of course, Ricochet gave him the low blow and everything. So this is a guy who can take on guys who, in comparison, look pretty average. Andrade, he's fairly well jacked. The other two are actually kind of smaller, And so, on the other hand, if this is a hot new faction that's looking to make an impact, they're not so far.
No.
So, I mean, in terms of, does it feel like he's burying them? A little bit. I mean, they're not able to chip away at the guy at all.
I think my worry is less that than this feels like a short-term-ish feud. Like, for whatever reason, maybe Seth's taking some time off, so he's just shooting stuff on his phone at home in his weird double chair. Rather than making the trip down every week.
Yeah.
So something they honestly should have done between Rumble and Mania to keep Drew hot is some sort of intermediary feud to carry him through that, rather than just doing a bunch of talking stuff. So that this match is made, you don't necessarily need Seth to come back until maybe the week before Money in the Bank to stomp him. So the math works out. In the meantime, you can have Zelina just keep on poking and prodding Drew. Eventually, if that happens, her faction has to get the upper hand at some point.
Yeah, and dude, even if they don't do it with Drew in the next 3 weeks, post Money in the Bank, they're new. Maybe they can, put it together and do this against some guys, against like a Kevin Owens, who looks a bit more average. So and then Drew hits that Tranquilo pose.
Yeah. It was pretty funny we did at the end, too. But, Steve, before we get to the next match, of course, Austin Theory and Aleister Black in the Money in the Bank qualifier, I know something that's not theoretical, and that's your love of a great shave. So before we continue, here's a word from our sponsor, Harry's Razors. Harry's knows that sometimes, for example, times like these, it's better to stay inside and get quality Harry's products shipped to you so you can enjoy a Harry's shave in just a few days from the comfort and convenience of your home.
Yeah, man, you got that right. I've been using Harry's for a while, and I've always liked that they offer quality, durable blades at a great price. I'm talking just $2 a blade, and they've kept their prices low by cutting out the middleman and making their own blades in their German blade factory that's been honing precision blades for a century.
Did I mention that you can get them delivered to your door? You don't have to go anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
With Harry's, you get a 100% quality guarantee. If you don't love your shave, just let Harry's know, and they'll give you a full refund. Also, 1% of proceeds are set aside for nonprofit organizations devoted to helping provide access to better health care for men and veterans.
And right now, Going In Raw listeners can redeem their Harry's trial set at harrys.com/GIR. That's HARRYS.com/GIR. You'll get a weighted ergonomic handle for a firm grip, 5-blade razor with a lubricating strip and trimmer blade, rich lathering shave gel with aloe to keep your skin hydrated, and a travel blade cover to keep your razor dry and easy to grab on the go. The thing that I like about it, dude, is that I don't have to think about it anymore. You know me. What's one thing I hate doing, Larson?
Thinking.
Yeah, you got that right, buddy. So, man, I got you, as you know, I can't grow, the thickest beard in the world. So I shave like once every 2 days or so. I just go out, I mosey on in my bedroom or in my bathroom. I open up the drawer. It's just there. It comes to my door. When I'm out and about, I don't think about it. Back in the day, I used to forget about it. And so I'd end up, using my wife's rusty blade. Just doing this. I got cuts all over my face, man.
Ow.
Yeah, it sucked. So now I just have these amazing blades just waiting for me. They roll like 5 deep. I just get it right there. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about it. It's great.
Well, do what Steve does and go to harrys.com/GR and start shaving better today.
Then we had our first Money in the Bank qualifier match of the night. Austin Theory, Patrick Sparks versus Aleister Black. Now, we both figured going into this Aleister Black would pick up the win. He did. But Austin Theory put up a decent fight, and Zelina Vega was terrific at commentary. My favorite part, of course, man. My favorite part. We're both wagging our pins. My favorite part is when they were on the outside, and Zelina comes down and starts giving her husband the business because you might know, you might not know it. Aleister Black and Zelina Vega are married. They're married in real life.
And it's not that she comes down giving the business. She says to Aleister, Austin is just trying to have a good match, and you're not letting him. God dang, that was so good.
That was really
You're
good.
You're not playing fair.
You're not playing fair. He's just trying to have a good match. This young boy is trying to have a good match.
Gosh, that cracked me up.
Yeah, that was good. But in the end, despite Austin Theory trying his best, of course, that bit was just a ruse for Austin Theory to start tossing Aleister into the barricade. But in the end, Black Mass, Aleister Black picks up the win. He's going to Money in the Bank afterwards. He had an interview where he says, I don't know much about corporate life, but if I did, I'd have to cover my Wait, did he say that?
No, he said I'd have to cover these. It starts pointing to his hands.
Okay. I had it on kind of low, so he was talking about this. If I worked in the corporate life, these days everybody has tattoos, man. You don't have to cover up these days.
Yeah, not really, no.
Anyways, he says,
yeah, go ahead.
But for my opponents, each floor of that building will be turned into their own personal hell.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's got
to be the odds-on favorite right now. Granted, we don't know the whole field, but
who's going to use the copy machine?
Baron, when he's in it.
Okay. Yeah.
Next, we had Shayna Baszler versus Indy Hartwell for the match. Shayna did an interview, and she was asked, hey, did you take things too far against Sarah Logan last week? This is just like the first of 5 mentions of Sarah Logan during the course of this episode. She responds, did I break any rules? No. I just broke Sarah Logan's arm.
Ouch. Yeah.
And then she proceeds to pretty much do the same thing to Indy Hartwell. Mm-hmm. However, I kind of wish the ref had actually gone down to check on Indy Hartwell before calling for the bell. Shayna stomps on arm, and he just calls for the bell right away.
Yeah, she did that all the time in NXT, and the match continued every time.
I mean, either they want to make that her thing. Like maybe she honed her stomping skills to such a degree within the last few weeks that it's devastating. It breaks arms. Mm-hmm. But you got to continue with the thing. Like the ref just can't assume arm is jacked. You got
what if somebody wants to keep on going?
Jacked.
Yeah,
exactly.
I wonder, was it the same ref? Was he so traumatized last week by Sarah Logan?
I didn't notice. So after the bell, Shayna gets the ladder, does the thing where she swings Indy into the barricade, and then jams her arm between the sides of the ladder, hits a running kick in the ladder, just destroying Indy Hartwell's arm.
Yeah, I like that bit. That was creative.
And then she just leaves.
Yeah,
just storms off like she's upset. It's great.
After that, we had a fairly quick match between the tag team of Ricochet and Cedric Alexander.
Oh man, they're good.
And they're great. And Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink again.
Mm-hmm. Same trunks.
Yeah. And this was a fun match. But it was It was not very long.
No, it wasn't. Nor really should it be.
Although Ricochet. There was
that spot on the outside, right, where Vink pulled him off the apron.
Yeah, no, but there was another one too. God, what was it? I forget what it was. I don't know. He landed.
Which had a rough landing.
He had a rough landing on the outside, but there was something else. Maybe it was a different match I'm thinking of. I don't know. Somebody else took a weird bump too.
Oh, Kyrie took a potentially bad spill against Nia Jax.
Yeah. God, I forget what it was. In any event, yeah, this was a crazy match. Yeah, Ricochet's crazy. But Cedric got the pin on Shane Thorne after a one-man Magic Killer.
No, the Magic Killer was early on.
Oh, right. That's right.
The pin was after Ricochet hits the recoil, and then Cedric hits a lumbar check. This bang bang.
How cool is that Magic Killer though?
That was great.
That was rad.
Shout out to the OC.
Heck yeah, man. To the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson.
Good brothers, man.
They have like
Good
6
brothers.
shirts already on Pro Wrestling Tees, dude.
I know they got tons. Like they were just waiting to get released.
They had those ready to go, man.
Don't they own like a print shop? So they probably have in-house designers.
They own a print shop together?
I think Luke Gallows does. Yeah.
Oh, that's rad. I think I remember hearing something about that.
I think it's called Good Brothers Inc. or something like that.
Good Brothers. They got those graphic designers lined up, ready to go.
Yeah, man. Every one of those shirts is better than 95% of what they got at WWE.com.
Oh my God, that's totally true. That's totally well. 2 of them have actual machine guns on them, and I'm not a gun guy, but machine guns look really cool.
And you can't put any sort of firearms on WB shirts these days.
No, God, no. You can't call yourself a machine gun either, which is what Carl.
No, you can't do that.
Carl
Let's do
Anderson.
this. Unless
Yeah.
you're Batista, and then you can do that.
Yeah.
He's like grandfathered into that, I guess. Apparently, like back when he was around in the Ruthless Aggression era, you could do this.
Well, no, what's funny? So this is more of a Gatling gun, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Gatling guns are so over the top. I think they're probably fair game.
I kind of feel like when Carl Anderson, like his
this is a machine gun. This is like
yeah, but he was doing it like it was a huge one, like it was a Gatling gun off.
This is like an AK-47 or M16.
No, man, the way in the game he was holding it like this, like he had
Gatling, or not even Gatling gun, like the one that's loaded on a Jeep in a Rambo.
Yeah, it's Gatling gun, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, holding a Gatling gun is like this.
Yeah, I know.
Carl Anderson's, he's got a machine gun, like an M16.
I know, but the way he was holding it with his hand like this, it was like something.
How great is it? 2 California liberals are talking about guns like they know anything.
We don't know anything about guns.
Asuka and Kairi Sane had an interview, and Kairi was asked about her match with Nia Jax, and Asuka called Charlie stupid and said Kairi's ready for a rematch. Nobody's ready for Asuka.
Yeah. Then next we had Bob Lashley doing a promo in the Performance Center gym. He like nods over to Alana to enter the frame. She says something to him. He says, "I'm going to warm up. I'm going to show you how easy for an athlete like me to flip over tractor tires." That's it. That's what he's going to do. That's what he's doing for the evening.
This entire sequence was stupid. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat corrected me. Let's see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. It says an M60 is a machine gun, an M16 is merely a rifle. Again, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it doesn't stop me from being a successful podcaster.
Oh, then
you
Joe
can do
Juarez
it too.
says Gatling guns are crank operated. What Batista imitates is more of a mounted minigun.
I have no idea. No clue.
True. I
Zero
guess the
idea.
Gatling gun is one you have to crank like this, and that spins the thing. Whereas the minigun, that's probably all machine operated. All you gotta do is press trigger.
Oh man. Anyways, so yeah, they that happens. After that, yeah, that Bobby Lashley stuff. Here's the thing. I don't even know what they were trying to do. Do you? With Bobby Lashley?
Like show he's super strong?
Is the insinuation that to get warm, him and Lana went and had sex? Because they weren't ruffled afterwards. He didn't have a post-sex half chub.
No, there was no like intimacy or anything like that.
He had gray sweatpants on. There was no wet spots.
Yeah, he said no chub, so yeah, no coitus, no.
So I don't know what the entire thing was so awkward. Like it's just him, and then he's like, come on. Like, why would she says, man, she knows where to be on camera.
Yeah.
So she comes in awkwardly, and he's like,
The whole thing was weird. I don't get it.
only an athlete can turn over this tire. And then she's like, yeah, he's going to go get warmed up now. And then they leave camera. And then later on, he comes back and then he does it. And then he's like, oh, but only a super athlete can move. I'm just going ahead. Can move this giant one. And it's mildly
it's
bigger.
Twice the size.
And he does the worst. Look, I really like Bobby Lashley. One day they'll use him right. He tries to lift up the big one. And he does a terrible job acting like it's too heavy for him, when clearly it's the easiest thing on the planet for him to lift this thing. And then he eventually does. I don't.
Third try, yeah, I don't get it.
I didn't understand any of this. I like that they got it. I like that they went to the gym though. I like that they went to the.
Yeah, that's just like the opposite. Like you could see it to the gym from where the ring is, pretty much, right?
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
Performance Center sign that's just through those glass doors.
Correct.
Over there. So
I
it's not
think
like they went a
they've
great
got the
distance.
camera, the hard cam, in front of that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's where that is.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, after that,
Kairi
Kairi
Sane
Sane.
versus Nia Jax. We got Asuka watching backstage as Kairi's getting beat up by Nia.
Also was making me laugh, dude.
Yeah, and then Nia picks her up. Or is that later? No, that was here. And like tosses her into the corner. And I don't know if she's supposed to hit buckle bomb style or not, but she ended up kind of hitting halfway in between. So her upper back hit essentially the bottom turnbuckle.
Oh, yeah.
And if she hadn't tucked her chin, Kyrie, that is, I banged her head in the middle one. It's a nasty spill.
Yeah, looked ugly.
Anyways, Nia charges after that. Kyrie escapes, start working over Nia's leg. Kyrie hits a spinning back fist, close on corner, goes for inside elbow. Nia evades. Nia hits Samoa drop for the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really know what they're doing with Kyrie.
I don't know why they're jobbing out Kyrie Sane so much.
So I'm probably just leaving. This was hilarious. This next bit.
Hi, my name is Colby, and I have a Matt Chat question for the week in my crazy double chair.
Thank you, Kobe. Oh, Larson, what a crazy double chair Kobe's in.
Yeah, Colby, thank you for your question.
Anyways, so yeah, Seth Rollins in like one of the worst films. Why don't they just talk to Mustafa Ali? That's my question. That Mustafa Ali knew how to do these great cinematic promos. Just him and a dude with a DSLR. Why are they?
Seth doesn't have a DSLR, man.
Are these phones like second generation iPhones that they have? Like, dude, you're a millionaire. You're like one of the highest paid guys in the WWE. Can you not afford like the phone that Stupid Steve has?
Well, he probably does have the phone that Stupid Steve has. He probably just did front-facing camera rather than the rear one.
But somebody was holding it. Like that logic works for the Adam Cole promos on NXT and why those are so pixelated. But even though like the front facing is not that bad on these.
Hold on, the reason is probably because he didn't know you can't shoot in a low light situation. That wasn't very because if you shoot in a low light situation, it's going to introduce noise. He needed more light. First of all, he needed the camera closer. Second of all, he needed not to shoot it in such an echoey open room. His home probably has an open layout, and because of that. Just audio just echoing all over the place. Made it sound like he was double the distance he probably actually was from the camera.
It made me, it's funny because Tom Kahlo and I were having a little back and forth on Twitter where he was like, dude, this thing is putting me to sleep. And I'm like, look, if you have, and it's the cheapest thing in the world, you can get a lavalier for your freaking iPhone. You get a lav and it can pick up if people talk low, I'll give you a great example. Anton Chigurh in There Will Be Blood. In No Country for Old Men. He doesn't talk loud. He's got a deep voice that's like 90% breath. And it's just the most menacing, terrifying thing. If you ever watch somebody act like in person, it's the goofiest looking thing. But once you get it with like good lighting and you got a camera with depth of field and you got like a good, like either really good, like, boom mic on him or like a lav. Oh man, it sounds great. But this is like Seth Rollins. He looked like he was doing like an audition tape.
No, looked like he was doing a Matt Chat question.
Or a Matt Chat question. Yeah, but that's saying some of these Matt Chat questions that we get are filmed pretty nicely. Look at Josh Martinez.
Yeah, Joshua Martinez has great looking questions. One thing he usually does, he shoots them outside or opens the window. The curtains out the window to let some light in. You can tell this was shot with very little light. This is probably a situation where they said, like, I don't know, earlier today, Seth, we need something from you. Can you send it in? All right, fine. What do you got to shoot it on? I just have my phone. Maybe Seth has no interest in audio-visual production of any sort. He just wants to wrestle.
Maybe he's a fan of the dogma form of filmmaking.
That could be. Maybe not. It's not his phone. It was a mini DV tape he had, mini DV camera.
Yeah,
he had those old school Canons, the large ones. It's shot with that dogma style. No mic,
could be.
No lights.
That could be.
He loves himself some early Lars von Trier.
Yeah, he's a big von Trier fan. Anyways, yeah, and then
honestly,
he had,
I was
like,
too distracted by his weird chair. I couldn't get over that.
He had some weird chair. It looked like it was two chairs. Like when kids want to be weird. Oh, I want to sit on two chairs. Okay, fine, whatever. Just okay, cool.
Sit on two chairs, and I don't care.
I don't care. You're at I don't know, Buffalo Wild Wings. Fine, sit on two chairs.
Fine. We've got enough seats for everybody. Fine, sit on 5 chairs. I don't care. Just don't lay down. That's all I care.
So anyways, Seth, I'm glad you took notes here because I was distracted the entire time by like a million things, everything except for what he said. He put Drew, according to your notes, he put Drew over, said he knows what it's like to walk in his shoes, metaphorically, I'm assuming. He accepts the challenge, but not out of respect. He accepts the challenge out of necessity. Oh, I remember this part. Because now more than ever, the WWE Universe needs a leader. Seth calls himself a proven leader, but Drew is not. And they like run some B-roll of like Seth with other guys. And he's going to take Drew's title, not because he wants to, but because he has to. So that's obviously confirmed. Right after that, I think they confirmed it for Money in the Bank.
They did. And it's obviously confirming that following his loss at WrestleMania, he needs to validate his status as Monday Night Messiah. He needs that title to fill that void.
And Drew's going to claim more of the shit out of him. And he's going to hopefully go like on a rampage where he is, even more desperate and searching for validation.
Yes.
That could be fun.
Next, Viking Raiders. They're in an SUV rolling through Orlando. Hanson's in there eating a turkey leg.
Good.
Ray Rowe
like
is driving.
That. Yeah.
And they got their headgear on.
Yeah.
They were to the entrance. And they're doing like one-liners. Sort of like that diarrhea song,
Yes.
When you're sliding into first and you feel something burst, diarrhea.
Viking Raiders.
Yeah, and they were doing the same exact thing. Viking Raiders. That's what they were doing. They were doing the diarrhea song. I just realized this.
You're absolutely right. You're 100% right. Here's the thing about this. Everybody hates it, right? Everybody I've seen on Twitter anyways.
It's garbage. They should have done the diarrhea song. It would have been way better.
That would have actually gone over.
When you're sliding into third and you feel a wet turd, diarrhea.
Viking Raiders.
Viking Raiders.
Listen, dude. This is Hanging with War Machine. They both looked.
No. I feel like Hanging with War Machine's way more entertaining and charming than this.
They looked like they were on the verge of laughing. It looked like to me, and this is just maybe to me. It looked like something that makes them laugh that they do on the road anyways, as a way just to kill time.
This feels like somebody heard the Hanging with War Machine story and wrote their approximation of it. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm good with that. And I saw this on Twitter, and again, I'm going to not credit somebody because I forget who I saw this. But they need to have them doing the same thing, but walking through like Walmart or doing mundane everyday tasks. Dude, the Viking thing is like just the regular Viking thing that they come out and they squash guys. It's boring now. It's boring. So if they're doing this, if this is just the kernel of the idea that they're going to turn into relatable human beings and not time travelers or straight up cosplayers without any personality, then I'm fine with it as long as they take it to a place. What do you like? Is Twitch cracking you up?
Chat here, Muted Mayday says, I'm not surprised Steve liked this. I'll be honest, I like it a bit more when I realize they're doing the diarrhea song.
I think that's on purpose too, because Ray Rowe especially had a big old cheesy grin on his face, but it's as if he wanted to laugh at it. So yeah, I don't know, man.
It was bad.
This to me is better than they were. It's better where they were, or it's better than where they were last week. So I'm fine with it. I think we're gonna end up like
it's not very good.
All right,
not very good. Next, MVP versus Apollo Cruz. This was good. Before the match, MVP says he's seen a lot of superstars' careers rise and fall because of the Money in the Bank contract. Calls Apollo Cruz one of the most. I just want to do diarrhea song now. I'm sorry. Calls Apollo Cruz one of the most gifted superstars on the roster, but he's outmatched by MVP. He wants to talk more. However, Apollo Cruz interrupts him. And apparently, Apollo Cruz is not outmatched by MVP because Apollo Cruz won. There's this great bit where MVP has Apollo Cruz in like a camel clutch, and is just talking crap.
Oh yeah,
listing off the legends that he's beat. Says, have you ever beat Batista? No, I have.
Yeah.
You beat Rey Mysterio? No, I have. That part was pretty good. MVP was actually. I'm assuming that's a directive for people. Like they realize there's no crowd noise, so they're telling people to talk more, not spots. Talk trash more, and that between how they've adjusted the delivery of promos in the ring and those are the two highlights for me for these empty arena shows.
Yeah, it's working a lot better. Yeah, I like for me it when the refs start yapping, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
it adds to the story.
It does. Anyways, Cruz hits MVP with an enziguri, follows military press slam, standing moonsault, standing shooting star press, and that powerbomb thing he does to get the win.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Then he gets up on the turnbuckle and he starts saying something like "Mr. Money in the Bank" or something like that. It was good, man. This kid is really giving it his all. He's doing everything he can with the minutes that he's given on TV, and I hope it translates. I hope it pays off for him. Man, have him win this thing and have him go heel or something. I don't know.
I know. Aleister Black's totally winning that briefcase, though.
Yeah, probably. Are there any heels in this match besides Baron?
Baron will be. They haven't announced any of the other qualifiers next week for
Daniel
Raw.
Bryan's in it.
Oh, no, sorry. The 3 men's from Raw already in it. So
yeah, because it's Raw and SmackDown in one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Baron's like the one heel. Mm-hmm. And there's 2 faces, although I don't know if Braun's going to come out. I don't know. I'm still torn about that one. You think Braun's going to lose that title at Money in the Bank?
Apparently, the way they're advertising on SmackDown, he's facing Bray Wyatt, not The Fiend.
Not The Fiend. I know.
So it could be a situation where Bray pulls some mind games and will take the L or get disqualified or something, or get Braun disqualified, like how he got in Seth's head so bad that he tried to murder him.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. What if he's able to like get Braun under his spell? And so he doesn't have the championship, but Braun does, but Braun is like back to being his henchman, but as champion. That could be kind of cool.
Yeah.
He wears the black sheep mask.
That'd be cool.
That could be kind of tight.
Next, we had a Ruby Riott interview. She was asked about, exactly why the Riott Squad broke up. And Ruby said she had double shoulder surgery because she carried the Riott Squad on her back. And she says Sarah Logan, another mention of Sarah Logan, is out with a broken arm. She's going to break Liv Morgan's arms. And Liv thinks she's all grown up, but she's going to realize how lonely it is without Ruby Riott around.
Yeah.
They had a match. It was a fun match. Too short, probably. Ruby, considering she wanted to break Liv's arm, didn't work her arms at all. In the end, Liv does get beat up quite a bit. There's this good spot where Liv's kind of on her knees, trying to kind of come to Ruby, talking trash, is like yelling at her to beg, I guess, for forgiveness or mercy, and then runs the ropes. Liv chases after, hits her finish, a springboard flatliner that looks great to get the win.
Yeah.
Dom L was probably happy.
Dom L's happy, exactly.
And then sad because Ruby Riott lost too.
Yeah, right. After that, Bob Lashley, I already went over that. Is this the one? Yeah.
No, this is one where he flips the giant one, and then he turns around. There's an even larger one behind him.
Yeah.
He says any elite athlete can lift this smaller tire, but who can lift this giant one that was like twice as high?
Right.
They're saying weighed 500 pounds.
After that, we had a really terrific match: Rey Mysterio versus Buddy Murphy. And I like to start out with Murphy just talking crap. They sort of do like some cool, back and forth countering stuff, and then Murphy's like, "Oh, not bad, old man."
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good. Good. And they told the story of Ray dislocating his finger on a wayward pump kick.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like one of those stories you can only really kind of tell in an empty arena venue like this, where you're really down there, camera's really down there, and you see Ray trying to put his finger back in place. I don't know. I just don't feel like at your average arena Raw that really would have worked unless that was a pre-existing injury he walked into that arena with.
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
The intimacy of the venue helped tell that particular kind of story.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, in the end, it wasn't enough. Ray hits Destroyer 619 Frog Splash to pick up the win, but it was a really fun match.
Yeah, no, it was totally a fun match. They actually called it
showing from Murphy.
I think they've done this before. They actually they called it a Destroyer again.
Mm-hmm.
It always surprised me. I thought they called it originally they called it something else, and they started calling it something else kind of Destroyer, but I forget. Anyway.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Angel Garza and Zelina Vega had an interview, and Charlie asks Zelina, "So things didn't exactly go to plan earlier, huh?" And then Zelina she was like, it was funny, it was cool. Zelina was good in this.
Yeah, she was the MVP of the night. Probably she was. Her work on the mic was really good.
Yeah, so she was clowning Charlie. Andrade says, "Wait, Andrade was in this?"
Did I write Andrade? I meant Garza, if that's the name.
Oh, okay, no, I didn't know if I had misremembered. Yeah, so Garza says, How do you know that Drew will even make it to Money in the Bank?
No, sorry. Zelina says that, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Beginning. I know I wrote Andrade.
It'd be, because I know she yapped a lot. So then Garza So Zelina leaves, and then Garza turns on the charms like he always does with Charlie, and he's like, "It'd be great for you to ask me after I beat Drew how it feels to beat him." And then he leaves, and she's like, "Oh, I can do that."
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah. After that, we had a quick match between Charlotte Flair, NXT Women's Champion, versus Kaden Carter. And Kaden Carter put up a bit of a fight here. Charlotte was trying to teach her. She was trying to school her. And Kaden Carter, she was doling out some offense of her own. But in the end,
She was.
Charlotte hit a spear, locked in first the figure four, and she was like shoving Kaden Carter's face. And then, bang, got the bridge.
Figure 8, yep.
Tapped out.
Carter has to tap. Next, back to Bob Lashley in the Performance Center gym. He's there trying to flip that giant tire. Takes him 3 tries. He does. Lana comes in and says, "Oh, you're amazing."
Oh.
And Bob says that's the kind of power everyone in the locker room needs to fear. So the point of that whole thing was to show off his immense power.
I don't know.
We
Yeah.
already know he's super strong, man.
I already know that.
See him
That's
flip over a
irrelevant.
tire.
Win a match, dude.
You want to show your true power? Win a match.
Yeah. This isn't
this
a
next match
strongman competition.
No. And if it were, Braun would probably win that.
Yeah, I know exactly.
That was his day job back then. Anyways, next we had Andrade versus Akira Tozawa. This is really funny. Andrade walking down the ramp, still selling those claymores. You know, trying to make sure his jaw was in good shape. The fact that Andrade took 2 claymores to open the show, and Akira knew that and went right after him, was fantastic.
Yeah, I like that.
It made you believe. I don't think Tozawa was going to win, but maybe he's got a shot.
Man, there's like a number of people, and granted, a lot of it is due to necessity because of the travel restrictions and people probably not wanting to come into the whatever. But Tozawa is one of those guys. He's available. He's around. He has a lot of matches. And lately, especially, like that cruiserweight match he had, he has been putting on some really great performances, like some really good stuff. And this was no different than that. But in the end, Andrade...
It seemed like a situation where Tozawa had to answer basically everything Andrade tried to do for the longest time.
Yeah.
Until he goes at the top for his finish, and Andrade pushes him up and just hits the draping hammerlock DDT to get the win.
Yeah, that back elbow that Judas effect was great. Looked gnarly.
Vicious.
Yeah.
Andrade's got the best back elbow in the business.
He does, man. He does.
Andrade and Zelina walk up the ramp. Street Profits come out. Montez Ford hops in the announce table, starts dancing. Byron joins in.
That was funny.
Great.
Yeah, that was funny.
We come back from commercial. Street Profits drop a quick promo to introduce Bianca Belair. She has a match against Santana Garrett.
They were on commentary, and my God, they were a bit too much. They were screaming a lot.
They were. That bit was that line Dawkins had. You reach, I teach. That was good.
Yeah. No, some of their stuff is good. It's just I always feel like this way with Montez. If he just dials it back a little bit, focus, hone your energy as opposed to just spilling it out everywhere.
No, I understand that.
It's always been my thing with him. But like sometimes they were just like literally screaming. I wonder if they were doing that just to bug Jerry Lawler, because he legitimately seemed to be getting annoyed with it.
Yeah, he did. And it was earlier tonight. Oh, when Murphy said to... Is that what it was? Said to Ray, what do you think about that old man? And Tom Phillips had some quip towards Lawler that made Tom Phillips laugh as he said it. Like, I'm sure you've heard that before, Jerry. How do you respond or something?
How do you respond? How do you respond to that? And Lawler says, "Yeah, doesn't feel good to be talked to you like that."
And then Phillips laughs to himself.
Yeah,
it's pretty fun.
Quick match between Bianca Belair and Santana Garrett. Bianca Belair picked up the win there, obviously, with her finish there.
KOD.
Yeah. I liked her jacket. It was all the Raw logo on one side and then the EST stuff on the back.
Although her Tron was still her NXT Tron. It said EST of NXT on it. As they were making a point of her being the newest addition to the Raw Women's Division.
She literally has a shirt now that says, "I go here." Coronavirus, dude.
Yeah, I guess so.
That brought us to our main event. Angel Garza versus Drew McIntyre. This was a lot more fun than the Andrade match. It was longer, and it was
longer. This match was only like 8 minutes.
Dude, I swear that Andrade match was like 5. It was really short. I like I think that overbooking things, or what do you call it when you like overbooking is like just too much. What is the in between booking a match, like perfectly booking a match, and overbooking it?
I don't know the term for that.
When they don't overbook it too much, but it is overbooked, right? That's what this was, and it works when with your empty arena stuff. You get more people involved.
Yes,
it's good.
You push your upper limit that people can have in the ringside area.
Exactly,
it makes it more fun. You
take it to the precipice of being, over the line with the guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
But now in Florida, there are no more guidelines, so it doesn't matter.
No, apparently not. It's apparently even more so in Georgia these days. There's this great bit where Drew hits a chop block, starts working over Garza's leg, lays in some stiff chops, and at one point he's ringside. He hits a chop. He's like, "Nah, that one wasn't good enough." Doles out another one.
Man, yeah.
Another great thing about these empty arena shows, you hear the chops in their to the fullest.
They're great. They're awesome. Yeah, Austin Theory especially did a great job, bouncing off Drew tonight. Mm-hmm. He would say, especially at the very end when he gets in the ring, it's like he doesn't even know where he's at.
Oh yeah, totally. So this is a great bit ringside where Andrade tries to push Drew into the ring post. Drew blocks it.
Mm-hmm.
He turns around. Garza tries to jump off the ring steps to attack him. He eats a headbutt. Theory tries to attack him. Drew fends him off.
Mm-hmm.
So he's getting rid of them all.
Yeah.
Batching him quick, easily.
It's like
eventually, though, Garza hits a drop kick off the steps. Drives Drew into the ring post 2 or 3 times, follows with a missile drop kick in the ring. Drew kicks out at 1. That's the best opportunity Garza had pretty much that entire match.
Yes. Yeah.
Because after that, it was pretty much, there's this great bit where Drew sets up for a Claymore. Garza tries to get out through the ropes, and Drew chases after him. First, he looks really annoyed. Tries to go after Garza, grabs him by his pants. It's a tearaway pants, so they pull off.
Yeah.
Garza tumbles to the floor, and then Drew, not content just to wait for Garza to get back in, does a tope to take out Garza, Andrade, in Theory. You don't see a guy 6'5", 260-some pounds doing topes. This is Dominic Dijakovic or Keith Lee, but otherwise you don't see anybody else do that.
Okay, so has he done that in the WWE? He has. Okay.
Yeah, not very often, though.
I thought he has. He doesn't do it very often, and it is impressive. And he does it. Somebody noted this. I don't know if it was in chat or Twitter or Patreon or whatever, but he did it. It looked like when Roman does it, Roman he's got a good sort of setup. He says, he sort of thinks about it a little bit. When Drew launched himself out of the ring, Roman does he does the Superman flying thing, right? Drew did the whole,
he has to do the tope.
Right. Drew did the tope. And it was the look on his face right before when he decided to do it. It was a great little bit of acting where he was like, yeah, screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And that's a lot of beef in the air. And they caught him really well. Man, that was.
And when he got up in Vegas right there, he's like, "Oh, I can do that too."
Mm-hmm, yeah, I can do a little bit of everything. Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah, that was rad. Anyways, he got the win with the Claymore. He goes over to commentary, chats it up with them, and he's like, "Hey, how about I drop some more Claymores on people?" Goes back to the ring, drops Garza with another Claymore. And then tells Vega, he says, keep on lining them up and keep them coming. For some reason, Austin Theory gets in, and he's sort of putting up his dukes. Yeah. What's that?
Earlier on, he stumbles in because earlier on, before the finish, he ate a Claymore.
He had eaten a Claymore already, yeah. So he stumbles in, and then he eats another one, and it was great. I thought it was great. Drew chases Andrade up the ramp. Andrade runs away. His titles, Drew's titles. No, whose title was on the floor?
Drew's title was on the top of the ramp. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he gets down, and
he slides.
Yeah.
He didn't just get down. He put on the brakes because Andrade was going backstage. He slides right in the Tranquilo pose.
Yeah. I feel like the crowds would be eating this up if they were there, man.
Oh my gosh.
He'd be
over huge.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do some questions real quick.
Sure. Shaq462, you should cover up your tattoos and look more professional. That's what he says. Going back to the Alistair bit.
Right. Let's see here. I'm on the Patreon. Zach Sigmund, hey, do y'all think since it's just Funhouse Bray, Braun can get a clean win, or do you think we're going to get a dusty finish regardless? I think it's going to be a wonky finish.
Yeah, it's got to be something.
It's going to be weird.
Yeah, Ryan K. Lamb confirmed Lashley needs Blue Chew.
There you go. Freezax says, how would you book a face versus face Kevin Owens versus Drew McIntyre feud? I mean, honestly, people just like to see people fight, man.
People like seeing people do cool stuff.
Yeah. So, Kevin says, hey, I'm a prize fighter. I think I deserve it. Drew says you do.
Top prize, yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Captain Sin, thank you for the sub. Dang MQ, there's also a weird painting in the Seth video. Yeah, to his right.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. It was kind of cool weird, but it was weird. I thought it was going to be a painting of him. So, but it wasn't.
Pretty funny.
It was some weird, surreal monster.
Like sort of like old school medieval triptych, religious triptych.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And on one side you have AOP, the other side you had Buddy. But it wasn't that. KSD GME, I love Drew, but are they making Andrade's new Ingobernable's faction look weak by having Drew handle them with these? We talked about that a bit ahead of the show. I don't necessarily think so. As you mentioned, Drew is kind of being booked in a Brock-esque fashion. And
they're going to need look, here's the thing. It is kind of an unfortunate first feud for them because, yeah, they do look weak compared to him, but they're just showcasing how strong he is.
Yeah, everybody should look weak compared to Drew.
When he gets bumped to, when that faction gets bumped to the mid-card, they're not a top-tier faction. They're an upper mid-card faction. James Fletcher, with WWE releasing a lot of its staff and talent, would you say WWE's name is now tainted by fans and wrestlers alike? I won't be watching. I just watch your reviews. I cancel my network. I don't know if the past several decades of WWE's activities hasn't tainted their name. I'm not sure how this would.
Some layouts aren't going to either. One Nava 3. Did you, friendo, see the Matt versus Nix being the Elite 200 match? Haven't yet.
Not yet. Heard good things.
Chance to watch it.
Johann von Wolfenhausen. WWE creative is so wonky, it even shows in their movies. First 10 minutes of the main event movie, the grandmother says, "Are we watching Raw tonight?" And the main kid responds, "Yes." But when they sit down to watch, they're watching SmackDown.
Nikyle, Drake Maverick must win these matches just to make a statement to Vince that he can wrestle. Is Drake Maverick going to win these matches? He can go into business for himself.
Yes, that'd be great.
Nikyle says, on to my question, going in raw math on Jake the Snake. Like, promo is 11.
Yeah, promo's off the charts great. He was a good in-ring worker.
Yeah, he was a good worker. His in-ring psychology was top-notch.
I would say, like, being good in total, his look was Slavin.
But his packaging, like his overall gimmick was great.
Okay, so let's give him, let's just say he's a 7 across the board.
All right. Legacy.
Well, no, okay, let's say he's an 8 for being good. Let's say he's 8 for being good.
And then Legacy's probably, he's highly regarded by other wrestlers because he was so good at psychology and promos, but then, outside the ring, he had his issues.
The fact that he never killed anybody, I would say, brings his legacy up to like a 6. The fact that his retribution story, I guess you'd call it, reclamation story, whatever it is,
redemption story.
Thank you. I always forget that word. Redemption story. The fact that he redeemed himself, I think, brings it up. He didn't die of like a drug overdose.
Yeah.
So that's a good feel-good story. He's doing good stuff in AEW. That's a solid 6.
All right, so we said 8 plus 6, and then kayfabe. He never won a single title in WWE.
You got to give him like a 4 kayfabe?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably a 4, because, he doesn't win it. He doesn't win anything.
6. He's a 6 wrestler.
That sounds right. Kind of underselling him, though.
Yeah. Nika, he already answered that one. Beans from the East. Maybe Bray and Braun is pre-filmed. He transforms mid-match. Like Manimal.
I hope they do it like Manimal. Prince C. Ross, the idea. The Money in the Bank matches should include as many participants in the match as there are floors in the building. The last participant on each floor is eliminated from the match. The first to reach the roof level will be declared Mr. or Mrs. Money in the Bank. There's a lot of floors in that building, though.
10. I said 10.
There's 10.
10. White Brownie 92 says Otis versus Big E in a supermarket match.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
Glamis Jar, how is it whenever WWE tries to force personality upon their talents, they fail? Viking Raiders and Street Profits were unbearable tonight. Street Profits more or less doing the same thing. And it's always been the case that when they have focus, they can actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
But if they just are kind of put out there and with no bullet points, nothing to necessarily focus on, it's hit or miss.
Yeah. Dog Authority figure. Which shoot couples should WWE book into angles with each other, and which couples should never interact on screen? He says, should Aleister Black and Zelina have A Kellyanne and George Conway relationship. Just have Alistair start trashing Zelina's faction on Twitter. No, man. Here's the thing. Like, I understand they're together. I understand they're a couple. I'm able to watch the product and understand that in kayfabe they're not, and I'm fine with that.
Although the knowledge that they are married, enhance their exchange.
It adds some entertainment value to it, sure. Does it take me a little bit out of the story understanding that? Sure, to the degree that because just I know.
Yeah, it's funny. Omega Advent, would you guys rather watch Tommy Wiseau's The Room or one of Uwe Boll's movies?
Probably The Room because I think it's actually entertaining. I'm not sure if Uwe Boll's movies are entertaining.
Ryan K. Lamb. So how will Baron Corbin fall off the WWE headquarters roof in Money in the Bank? Elias will just happen to be there and hit him with a guitar and knock him off the roof.
This is good. Mike Demopoulos says, is it just me or does Cedric and Ricochet's team have to be called the one and onlys? Ones and onlys.
KSDGME, who in AEW or the release wrestlers would you like Lance Archer to make a Suzuki Goon faction in AEW with Jake as the mouthpiece? Man, imagine Lance Archer revival with Jake.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be good.
Beans from the East, Sarah Logan does get brought back. Should she get paired with Viking Raiders?
Seems like she's going to be brought back. I don't know. It depends on what they're doing with the diarrhea song, guys.
Yeah, I know. That might be off-putting to her. I don't know. Maybe Ray Rowe does that at home and she thinks it's charming.
Probably just makes a bunch of fart sounds. Adrian C. with as much emphasis WWE puts on social media, along with mixing reality with on-air storylines. Do they expect us to keep kayfabe alive with Zelina and Aleister Black as if we don't know? I don't care. Like, they're performers. They're performing roles. I don't really think Aleister Black sleeps in, like, a coffin or whatever they're trying to allude to when he comes up from the thing. Yep. I don't think he's that guy. Yeah, I see him on social media. I don't care. They're performers. It doesn't really bug me that much.
Nope, doesn't.
Kayfabe is dead, man.
Yeah, it is.
Thayer Thabata. If they keep booking Drew as an unstoppable Superman like Roman, will the crowd eventually turn on him too? Joke's on them. There's no crowd.
Yeah, and also Drew is like super charming. Let's say Roman isn't.
He's
like
very charming. He's very charming.
He seems very comfortable in that role.
He does. He really does. Also, Kobe Felt says, I was curious to hear your thoughts on Smiling Drew. I personally feel I enjoyed when he was more focused and not talking as much. Yeah, I kind of like him now. I'm fine with it. As long as he keeps on claymoring people, I'm fine with it.
See, he's Smiling Drew, but I don't feel like he's lost his edge.
Yeah, I don't think he has either.
And that's the key. As long as he has his edge, because that's always what motivated him, he'll be fine.
He's like having fun. He's like trashing people and like shit talking and like doing tranquilo poses. I thought it was a good showing for him tonight.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
This is a good one. Wolfpack for life. How hard would it be for you to cut a promo against your spouse without breaking? Wouldn't be able to do it. Wouldn't be able to do it. If I was a seasoned professional, maybe. Now,
I might be able to. Well, you see, it's not the problem is me delivering it to my spouse. My problem is I probably wouldn't be very good at delivering promos, period.
Oh.
Without breaking. That's more the issue.
Gotcha.
If I get my motivation, I'm focused. Like that one time I yelled at you about Big Red.
Oh, yeah.
In the office, we were live streaming. I didn't think. I just did, and it was fine. I got to be in that mindset.
In the situation, though, when you're like in the middle of what is essentially a play,
yeah,
and like you have to drop a promo on your wife, I don't know if I'd be able to do it without breaking. Maybe I would. If we've rehearsed it enough, I don't know. If we're professionals, yeah. But just right now, probably not.
All right, here, I'll give you a thing. Say you put some stuff in the washing machine, and you said, hey, I got to go do some stuff. Please, don't let the stuff sit in the washing machine overnight. Put it in the dryer, please. So I don't want to wake up and go there and it's not in there and it starts smelling because it's sitting in the water too long.
Yeah.
You come home, and that hasn't happened. What is the promo you cut?
You think I cut a promo on my wife?
No, I'm not.
She'll murder me. Are you kidding? You know my wife.
I think you would. I'm just saying this is a situation. I'm trying to give you motivation to cut a promo.
That's terrifying.
Really?
Yeah. That's scary.
All right.
Lacey's violent. I hear her walking around out here. Even her walk is violent. Scary. Wait, what's the situation? Who's putting the clothes in the washing machine?
You put some. I'm just trying to think of a
I'm
silly
putting the
situation.
clothes in the washing machine, and you want me to cut a promo on my wife for not then putting them in the dryer like she's supposed to do my clothes?
No, because you ask her. You have to go out of the house. You'll be gone all day. Say, please, can you just put those in the jar because I can't do it.
Man, I would say I would come home and I'd say, Lace, I'm sorry for putting that burden on you. I'm the idiot here. I'm gonna go rewash my clothes now. Please don't punch me. There's my promo.
All right.
Anyways, that's it for the show.
All right.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.